3-2 by West Ham United. What a job David Moyes is doing. They're up to 4th in the table. We'll show you the table in just a couple of moments. Newcastle United beaten again. They look better going forwards, but that's now 2 points from the last 27 on offer for them. Southampton 1, Arsenal 3, as you've just seen, and West Brom 0, Manchester City 5. They're conceding goals for fun at home under Sam Allardyce, West Brom, and currently staring relegation in the face. As you can see, all those games still to come tomorrow, and Tottenham against Liverpool as well on Thursday. This is how the table looks at the moment. Rio, feel free to look away now. Manchester City go back to the top, 1 point ahead of Manchester United, having played the same number of games. You can see there Arsenal up to 8th in the Premier League table. There's West Ham, look 4th, 35 points on the board. And we'll talk about West Ham and David Moyes before we come off air at 11:15 this evening. Southampton slip into the bottom half. They now sit 11th in the table. Leeds stay where they were in 12th. Bad night though for Newcastle United and also for West Brom, both of them beaten. Right, this is what's coming your way then. Over the not too distant future, tomorrow Chelsea will play Wolves right here on BT Sport. Thomas Tuchel announced today on an 18-month contract taking over from Frank Lampard. That one's from 5:30. Burnley also play Aston Villa, and then we've got Brighton up against Fulham for you. That's a crunch game actually for Fulham. Depending on whether they win or lose, they'll either be 2 points from safety or 8 points from safety. Manchester United against Sheffield United will give United another opportunity to go back to the top of the Premier League table, and then Everton against Leicester tomorrow from 8 o'clock here on BT Sport. That was a very good night for Arsenal.
Great night for Arsenal. I think the way that they played, I think the foundations of that performance was from the hard work, the press from high up the pitch. I think the instigator was Smith Rowe, who's been brought in, a young graduate from the academy. And that was the foundations that set everything up. And I think Arsenal, we've always spoke about how they play great football. They entertained us, scored some fabulous goals over the last few years. But that element, what we're talking about, the press from the front, to be able to really suffocate teams, has been where they've probably let themselves down at times. And today they got it right.
What did you make of your old side, Frankie? Because there are so many reasons to be impressed by Southampton. But in terms of their recent run, that's 3 goals and 1 win in their last 7 games.
Yeah, I think you look at the way that we set up and the intensity that Ralph Hasenhüttl wants the team to play. Like you say, lack of goals is a little bit of a concern in those recent 7 games, only those three Premier League goals. But I think sort of injuries, suspensions, to sustain that level of intensity is asking a lot when you're looking at the substitutes bench, when you've got predominantly sort of teenagers and youngsters in their 20s or 21 years old at the most. So just maybe that lacking that depth of strength in the squad. But it's we've seen it at a lot of sides. Maybe just having that little blip, got to somehow recover to mount a challenge to get back up the table.
So tight though, isn't it? You win a few games and you move up, 5th, 6th in the league, you lose a couple and you slip into the bottom half. Tell you what, let's go straight back to St Mary's and get some instant reaction. Here's Lindsay, let's see who she's found.
Mikhail, congratulations. A great response to Saturday's defeat. How much better was the performance tonight?
Yeah, it was much better. Saturday was disappointing for us, to be knocked out of the FA Cup, and we're the holders of that, so we took it hardly, and we came out here, we knew their weaknesses, and I felt we exploited it well, and we got the victory that we deserved.
And you scored the second goal. It was a great ball from Alexandre Lacazette. You still had plenty of work to do though.
Yeah, I spoke to him before the game about the opportunity. As soon as he gets the ball, I'm going to run him behind, and he listened, and we got a goal, so I was happy with that.
And then you teed him up for the third, but how good was that ball from Cedric?
Oh, it was amazing. He just hit the space. I don't even think he looked at me. So I'm really happy with everyone, not just Cedric and Laka. Everyone put in a shift, and we're so happy to get the 3 points here.
And that's 5 Premier League goals for you, which is more than all the other teenagers in the Premier League combined. How do you feel you're improving game by game?
Well, I'm just happy to be playing for Arsenal. It's a dream. So I just have the passion when I get on the pitch. The boss, he makes everything clear for me, and at the same time gives me the freedom to go and do what I want to do in the final third. So yeah, I'm really happy with that stat, and I just want to keep improving on it every game. And
up to 8th now. It's all heading in the right direction.
Game after game, we take it. I know everyone always says that, but we have to do that because this year the Premier League's changing so rapidly. A couple months ago we were in the bottom half, and now we're in the top half, and it can change so quickly. So we just have to focus on every game and try to win each one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well played to that young man tonight. Saints have been Welcome back. What a busy old night of football right across BT Sport. We've been focusing on this game. 3 goals, 3 points, 3 away wins on the spin in the Premier League for the first time in over 2 years for Arsenal. He played some beautiful football at times. That man very happy indeed. Slightly more disappointing for the man opposite me in the studio, but we'll talk about Southampton and where they go next very shortly. But look, there's some brilliant young talent at Arsenal. We spoke about Emile Smith-Rowe in the build-up. We'll talk about him again in just a moment. But tonight was Bukayo Saka's night, wasn't it?
Oh, I mean, he was tremendous to watch him. I think his skill, the maturity with which he plays is so impressive as well. He can play 1 and 2 touch, plays off both feet, as we'll see in the clips in a minute. But his decision-making, I think that's, for me, he plays with someone who's well beyond his years. He makes the right decisions at the right times. You can see in the way he sets things up for other opponents. He starts the first goal with the interception. Again, plays 1 touch and moves. Obviously, he doesn't play the final ball or score the last goal, but he's the man who sets this and sets the tone for this first goal. It's fantastic. And you can see that he's so comfortable wherever he plays. He's played probably about 5 or 6 positions in this team already. They've been struggling, they've been doing well, they've been struggling. He's been a constant in that, but he can play any position, comes inside the fullback there, exposes the goalkeeper, off balance, finishes it with his weaker foot with aplomb.
He shows a maturity beyond his years, doesn't he? It's almost like a player that's played a few hundred games in the Premier League. And this was just, well, I mean, what a pass. It was a good goal all round, really, wasn't it? I mean, if this is a good switch across. Diallo in there at left back, but what a ball!
Oh,
perfect.
Sweet, that's sweet.
McCarthy can't come for it, and then the ball across as well. Saka's vision to pick out Lacazette is it's a wonderful team goal. This.
It's a difficult cross that as well, by the way. On the bounce, on your weak foot there, on the half volley. So difficult. You can scuff that with your studs more often than not.
And it's the only place it could go for Lacazette to get a touch to score.
Real talent. Someone definitely, I'm sure, in the thoughts of Gareth Southgate, because he's such a valuable player in terms of his ability to play and cover different positions.
And it feels like he, along with a few of the other youngsters, Emile Smith-Rowe's another one, they're kind of moving into the next phase of their development at Arsenal. You know, you're normally busy on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Us true grafters, we do the Europa League on a Thursday night. And we've been seeing them just get their little opportunities in their moments. It feels like we've moved beyond that now. They are proper, regular first teamers. And not only that, like, it feels almost like Saka's a leader in that team, actually.
In terms of performances, yeah, I think vocally and experience-wise, he'll be one of the guys that's sitting there maybe following and looking at other people more experienced within that changing room. But in terms of performances and output on that pitch, the senior players will be looking at him and thinking, wow, he needs to start. I hope he's in the team, because what he's doing is more than most in that team. And his value it can't go unnoticed. I'm sure Mikel Arteta knows his worth and value to this team. And what's great about this is that, yes, Arsenal are bringing young players through, but they're bringing young players through who are having a massive effect and are becoming integral to anything forward-thinking at this football club.
Their influence on the pitch is where it matters at the moment, and that's where we're seeing it. That will grow off the pitch and in the dressing room a little bit more as they mature and play more games. But from performance perspective, outstanding.
It's interesting to see how Mikel deals with it, though. You know, there's this talk about Odegaard coming in. We believe that deal is pretty much over the line. You need to improve the squad all the time, but make sure that you don't take the short-term decisions and cost other players long-term. Yeah,
I think competition's healthy, and these young players need that competition. But you don't want players coming in who are going to stunt the growth and the development of some young players that are there, especially ones that are just coming into the team and starting to show some good form. And the belief that the manager has shown in them. Listen, this kid here, Smith-Rowe, another fellow South